The impact of COVID-19 has not been kind to today's entrepreneurs or employees. From lockdowns to recession, the concept of working from home is now made popular to the masses. It was mandatory for most industries to practice working from home. However, now that the government has begun to lax such requirement, many still opt to do so, either for cautious or cost reasons. While it's not illegal per se for one to work from home, there are legal implications in doing so. For today's video, we'll be discussing the impact on two categories of people, namely employees and entrepreneurs that decides to close shop and operate from home. To encourage us to make more videos like this, please like, share and subscribe. We will really appreciate it. Thank you. Let us first start by talking about what goes on when working from home. By working from home, you no longer need to travel in order to get to work. Most will probably wake up at 8:55 a.m. and while still wearing your pajamas, you switch on the computer and log in at 9 a.m. You then make yourself a cup of coffee and cook yourself a nice breakfast. Whilst eating your breakfast in front of the computer, you send a work email to let your boss know that you're working. You then go back to check on the latest gossip on social media or switch on Netflix. Yes, for those who work with me, I know your work schedule. Jokes aside, the earlier scenario may be a little extreme. However, it depicts one truth, and that is, you get flexibility when working from home. How then can one draw the line to segregate what is work time and personal time? According to ROSPA, home is the most common location for accidents to happen. Here comes the tricky part. The Social Security Organization, also known as SOCSO, was established pursuant to the Employees Social Security Act 1969 to provide protection to employees against accident or an occupational disease arising out of and in the course of his employment. This includes industrial accident, commuting accidents, accidents during emergency, and occupational disease. So, what then happens if an employee went to the washroom at his own house, slips, and fell? Or what happens if the employee met with an accident whilst traveling on a journey between his place of work, which is his home, and the place where he takes his meal during his lunch break? Will SOCSO cover such cases? If the answer is no, how then is SOCSO relevant to those who choose to work from home? For entrepreneurs who ought to set up their own business from home in order to save rental and other ancillary costs, you may want to consider these few points. Depending on the type of business you are running, most businesses will require a business, signboard, and premise license to operate the business, failing which a penalty can be imposed on you. All of these licenses will require you to state your residential as your business address. Then, there's this whole restriction about running a business on a residential title property instead of a commercial one. If you're living in a stratified property, some have house rules that prevents one from using their property for business purposes. These are some of the examples of what legal issues one would face whilst working from home. How then can one choose to work from home and yet overcome this infringement or red tapes? The answer lies with the government. Whilst the government tries to incentivize the people to work from home by providing grants and tax relief benefits, new laws and guidelines will need to be enacted to provide for such circumstances. Until and unless that is done, the above-mentioned legal issues will remain as a problem. For those who romanticize working from home, you just need to keep in mind that this is not a bed of roses. If you can think of any other legal issues on the new normal, let us have your thoughts on the comments below.